this auspicious August gathering, I, Shruti Kumbar, Student Coordinator, IEEE Student Branch of ADCET Ashta, would like to welcome Honorable Executive Director, Sant Jnaneshwar Shikshan Sanstha, Islampur, Professor R.A. Kanaya Sir. Welcome, sir. I welcome Director of our ADCET, Dr. Vikram Patil Sir. Welcome you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome Head of CSA Department, Dr. Smriti Bhandari Madam. Welcome you, Madam. I am very excited to welcome resource person of today's webinar, Dipti Patil Ma'am, Service Delivery Manager, Capgemini Consulting Private Limited, Mumbai. Welcome you, ma'am. I welcome all the deans, faculty members of our ADCET Ashta. Last but not the least, I heartily welcome all the participants of this webinar. Welcome all the present members. Now let me introduce today's resource person, Dipti Patil ma'am. Currently, she is working as Service Delivery Manager in Capgemini Consulting Private Limited, Mumbai. Major roles performed by her in Capgemini include support analyst, tech lead, finance and CRM functional lead, innovation lead, QA lead, Scrum Master, project manager, service delivery manager, and Oracle IMSC lead, SAP enhancement lead, digital technologies, etc. She also has worked as SDM for Salesforce projects. Her major achievements include Capgemini Star Performer, contributed in CMMI company level audits, and won first prize for her project. Onshore client relationship helped to get more business for company. Now her abroad experiences are worked for major UK clients and traveled almost every year with few long-term assignments across England, Manchester, Scotland. Major retail clients M&S, Joe Lewis Partnership, Matlan Energy, and Utilities Canada client Hydro, one SAP West, Smith's detection for Salesforce, and Liberty Latin America in Salesforce Velocity projects. With this, I present before you, Dipti ma'am.
Okay. So thank you, Shreya, right? Shreya or Shruti, I just, sorry, forgot. Thanks for the introduction, and thank you all, giving me opportunity to present my thoughts or sharing my experience with you all. Okay, so it's thanks to Suhas, okay, who is my classmate, colleague, and yeah, you are Dr. Sapati, sir. Yeah, so thank you for this opportunity. So, yeah, let's start. I welcome all, and I'll be love to have a more interactive session, guys. Whatever questions you have in your mind, you just raise your hand or try to share on chat. I will try to give as much as possible from the service point of view or whatever the knowledge I have. I would like to share. I would like to help you guys. Okay. So the main motto of this session is basically I'm working in this industry from past 20 years. So I have worked with many, many clients and a lot of experience gathered. And recently, as a part of additional responsibilities, we have to, also support HR and recruitment for this campus hiring sessions. Okay. So from last year, I was part of that panel, and I really observed a lot of things, okay, which I really wanted to share with all the young professionals because and suddenly Suhas gave me this opportunity. So I was really happy to share all my experience and what I really think of what people should do or the young professionals should really do so that they can achieve their dream careers. So that's why I come up with this session, and yeah, so that's how it is. So let's move on to the first slide. Okay, the current situation. So this slide, I'm just putting this as your 4 years of curriculum. If you look at our current curriculum, majority of the part we are just doing a theoretical knowledge. Okay, we are just studying. It's like whatever I studied 20 years back, it is the same pattern we are just following. Okay, and only last year there will be one project, or maybe in the third year, and internship. I'm not sure if every college is allowing students to do that, but hardly anybody is following that. So this is the same pattern. I think past 21 years passed, but still nothing had changed. And if we looked at the current technology, the current world, it is moving really faster. So if you have to, match up with that, those, that speed, or you can say the knowledge, or the things where the world is going or moving ahead. So we really need to think on it, that how we can change this perspective. So basically, I would really like to suggest the second year, third year, students, that if you are, you wanted to do something, or wanted to achieve a dream company, seriously, you should start from second year and third year to look for all, what we can do for our future, and how you should be prepared to face the industries, or when you get outside the college, what will be the challenges, okay, and how you are going to mitigate. If you plan from right away, I'm sure you will be definitely placed in any of the, world's best companies. Means I can assure you that if you really, follow the things, or the at least whatever the few understandings or experience I got from my work ex, or from my knowledge point of view, it will help you to at least at some extent to gain that. Okay. So even I really request to college authorities as well, sir, that I'm not sure changing the syllabus is in our hand, but definitely, we can look that what extra additional platform we can provide to the students, so that, they can be more working with the industries, and they can, get involved into more industrial knowledge, and how a job, when you pass out and trying to look for jobs, how, you can search, or it will ease your, help you to get that career. Moving ahead. So these are, some industry domain slides. Okay, I'm really wanted to highlight that when you are thinking that how a IT industry is performing. So I have observed that whatever the campus interviews I'm taking, if I'm asking those young professionals, they are not aware of anything. They just know, okay, if you ask them about a last year project, okay, fine. If you ask them something about engineering subjects, because I'm a engineering background, then fine. They might be, tell you about some subject knowledge. But if you ask them to tell me about, do you know about any industry domains? Okay, so they are like, I'm not sure. Maybe they are aware of it, but they are not able to speak up, or they don't have confidence what to say. So basically, I'm here just trying to say, guys, these are the few domains which I'm trying to highlight, but there are n number of more domains as well in which IT industry operates. Okay, and students should really understand that how IT industry is related to each of them. Ideally, that suppose take an example of retail. Okay, retail means that you are using n number of retail brands, starting from clothing to every retail industry, not only the clothing, but the food chains or any other retail industry. But have you think of any time that how these retail industry operate? What are the big projects which big companies driving it? How they are driving it? What kind of things they require to drive it? So it's like for every domain, if you think of, suppose take an example of telecommunication. Okay, telecommunication. Take example. Okay, everyone nowadays knows that you need an internet broadband. But have you thought of how these big companies are selling these products, how they are making profits, how that whole situation is managed by a IT industry? So this is what the industry domains are, okay? And these are the big projects which all these big companies are, achieve. They are the customer of these, big industries, and they are trying to get all these projects and try to, deploy you as a part of that project. And then you have to serve these industries. Okay, so just trying to explain. Okay, what about energy? Energy comes under how, what kind of energies and utilities. Suppose you are generating electricity, so generating electricity is a one part, okay, that comes under a different forum. But transmission of those electricity into everyone's home, not only India but across the world. So there are n number of companies who are driving it, and those are the projects which are built on n number of different technologies. So that is how, every industry is related to IT industry. So even take the example of media and entertainment. In media and entertainment, you have right now n number of, you can see that shows are coming on OTT platform. So Netflix and everyone is releasing it. So how they are relating with your IT industry? Okay, what kinds of projects they have? Take the example of automotive. Okay, so you have, n number of brands of automations. They are manufacturing cars, but only manufacturing completes the business? No, they need a support of whether they are selling the cars, how they are earning the business revenue, they how they do marketing. So everything is supported by IT industry. Okay, so see where are we and what kind of projects each and every company belongs to. See, take the example of financial services. In financial services, we have insurance, capital markets, and banking. So, there are a number of banks. Take major giants in India. Okay, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. Insurance, you have n number of insurance you see, the Bajaj Allianz and everyone. But we just know that okay, insurance, we get a policy, they serve us. No, how IT plays a role. You need to, think about it. In capital markets, okay, you know the share, you are taking, buying shares, maybe investing, you are earning money. But have you ever thought of how IT industry is related to it? How IT is managing and playing a key role in, providing n number of IT jobs. So people are, like young professionals are deployed in all such projects, and this is what experience is. Okay, so, so these are the IT domains, and I really wanted to raise the flag that when it comes to your project or any, what you can say, you want to do the internship, you should really target all such, industry domains, so that you will learn how the industry really working and how you can apply your software knowledge to it. Be it any technology, but you should understand the flow and you should be able to understand how to convert it into something or workable projects. Okay, so that's why I just come up with these industry domains. So I'm really wanted to raise the flag that people should think of about your projects, that we should try something different. Because I have almost, taken interviews of 5 to 6 colleges, even including IIT colleges, and they are having repetitive projects, yeah.
मी तर तुझे कुछ छानतर नाही. Yes.
Sorry, sorry. Is there any question? Hello. Sorry. Okay. So this is how, that's why I'm trying to show you this slide, so that in future, if you are trying to appear for or trying to find any projects, try to target these industries and try to see how different project you can, plan, instead of just repeating some image processing or typical projects I have seen. Like you got sensors and just sensing the, signal identification, or very basic projects we are doing for our final year. And if you, present it in the interview level, for the current situation, it is like a very simple project. So if the way world is changing, you should also think of how best projects we can deliver it. So this is the motto of my perception to show you. Okay, to look at this and try to plan your projects. Okay, any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the next slide. So as sorry, Shruti, no questions?
No, ma'am, still there are no questions.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the slide, work opportunities. So as I explained you, what are the domains or projects any companies might have, okay? And these are the work opportunities. If you look at any software industry, okay, when you are joining to when you are passing out of college, you in your mind you just know that okay, I'll be a programmer, but this is not the truth. Okay, if you are not just going for a programming thing, being an engineer, these are the multiple roles in any company you will get. And I personally feel that everyone should assess or understand what are these roles, and definitely check what is your own capabilities and what you really wanted to do, because every person is not good at programming, every person is not good at coding or some backend activity. Every person has some unique talent, and you should understand what is your talent, and you should align with these work opportunities. Okay, so let me just explain one by one each work opportunity. So just first, I'll start with application management. Okay, so in our software industry, the application management means whatever any industry, suppose if we got any project, they have already implemented the whole IT cycle for that particular business. Okay, and we have to provide a annual maintenance for that particular service. That is called application management. So how a software engineer or a young professional plays a role? Suppose that particular system is built in SAP. Okay, when you join as a programmer, you have to learn maybe some of the SAP modules, and you will acting as a okay. This particular application works with this business flow, and you have to take care of this area. So there will be a number of 10 modules of SAP. There will be 100% team, and everyone will take care of it. In this application management, there will be 24 by support kind of thing. So if there is any issue in the overnight, we have some SLA agreement with the company that you have to serve at any point in time. So you have to work for that particular at any time whenever you get a call. This is how the application management works. Okay. The next is innovation and development. So there are some projects in which you have only development work. So there will be like some projects from US, UK. You will get the requirements. You will follow the whole SDLC cycle which you have studied in your project, in your study curriculum, and then you have to do the requirement gathering, then implement, develop the code, test it, and deploy it. So this is comes under innovation and development. So I believe that everyone just understand, okay, I have to be like this, but not necessarily that you will get a development project only when you join any big company. Okay, then next comes to a security thing. Okay, so what security means? Security means it comes as a cyber security nowadays. Okay, so every project has to understand what are the cyber securities that we need to follow if we are playing with any personal data. And depending on the each country, there are different legislations, okay, that you have to follow. So suppose because I worked a lot of projects with UK. In UK, if you have to play with personal data, you have to follow the GDPR rules. Okay, so those kind of security things you have to follow. So there will be a proper security team. They have a lot of security related responsibilities which you have to learn, or maybe you will get trained. So this is also one kind of work opportunity. Then next comes as a PMO. It's a project management officer. Okay. So when you have a team of 500 people, there will be n number of things which you have to manage. Okay. So that's why in our bigger teams we always have a PMO person. Okay, which will take care of all the reminders activity, or suppose you have to raise a billing purchase order to the client, you have to do all documentation kind of thing. So for that a project manager or officer will be aligned, or there will be a project coordinator as well. Then next comes as a CSR team. It is a corporate social responsibility team. Okay. So in a bigger companies like Capgemini or Infosys or Wipro, anything. So CSR is also a major team and a key team. Okay. So in that also many engineers work, people do like to do a social responsibility work under the corporate, presence, because in corporate world you will get n number of activities that you can play around. So there is also it's a kind of a management job, but obviously if you do like a management activities and also some social combination, this team is an ideal for to work on. Then we comes as a automation team. So there will be always a big automation domain present in every company, okay, which always thinks of, what are the current manual projects are going on and what are the automation opportunities, okay. So they always try to understand what is the current business flow of that particular project and how we can provide a automated functionality so that client will benefit in time, cost, and every point of view. So this is also a very great theme. So in which you will get to know n number of clients. You can see n number of automation opportunities. You can see how you will get a different perspective to work on automation of every using every technology or tools. I believe many people might not aware of what exactly automation means. They only understand automation testing. Okay, so automation testing is also one part. So that comes as a different picture. That automated testing means whenever you are testing any application, you just have to upload the scripts in one of the tool in some frameworks. Right now there are a number of frameworks, and you just have to execute it and see that okay, whatever the business flow you understood from the business point of view or industry point of view, it is working as expected, and that's it. So that is just a automation testing. Okay. Then next comes as a quality assurance. So this is also, many people maybe don't know, but this is a very big and important for every big companies. Okay, quality assurance is plays a major role. Okay, every project in bigger companies which are CMMI level, IT level, so they have to do every year they have to do a lot of audits, internal and external. They have to keep themselves updated and aligned with the industries. And they if they have to be on a top ranker, these audits are very important and company should be compliant to it. Okay, so this is compulsory for every project of every company, and you have to follow all the audits to ensure that you are compliant to that CMMI level 5, which your company really is, and you have to maintain that quality. So this is also a very big team and it plays a very important role every year. When they are appearing for any certification, they choose, out of many clients, they choose specific projects, and you have to provide all the audit, evidences, or provide the stats and prove that how you are compliant to every activity. I'm just trying to give you some small audit examples. Like we do have information security audits, or ISMS audits, in which you will be trained like how you have to secure clients' data or clients' assets or anything that you are accessing from the client end. So if any case of any breach of the security, okay, if you are exposing any data or any leakage, there will be heavy penalties. So quality and security are really major aspects of the team. So these are also a very good teams to work on. Very great knowledge you will get, and it's also a different, uh, you can say a perspective to look at the industries. Okay. The next is HR team. Not necessary that every engineer will be doing a programming. They might have a HR team interest. Okay. So I'm not sure you can directly go for a HR after pass out from the engineering, but definitely you can attend some management courses, specialization in HR, and then you can apply for it. This is also one of the best team because they play very key role, especially during this COVID. You have seen HR team has played a very important role. Means I must say and really appreciate that what Capgemini has provided throughout this from last year, you know, and how they have made a lot of facilities for their employees. They have taken care then their anxiety problems and a lot of things they have done for employees. So it's a commendable job done by HR team. So this is also one of the greatest opportunity if you are really thinking to secure job opportunities in this area. Then we also have sales team. Sales team is something like that, when you have a very good knowledge of business, you can directly study the market, what the market trends are going on, which clients you can focus on, how it's a simple thing. IT industries are also doing their own business, so if you have to run your show, definitely you have to get the new projects, always get the good clients. So sales teams do a lot of study, they come up with stats, they come up with RFPs, and they put quotations. Then there will be bidding between many companies, and then a client decides what's a good on cost, quality, every scenario, and then you get projects. So this is what the job of sales team. Okay, so here is also a lot of challenging works or jobs that any engineer can perform. Then there is a legal team. So legal team also, you have to legally submit a lot of documentations when you are signing projects. You have to do a lot of things basically. Means as a legal format is like in a company also you have to take care there is nothing wrong happening. Every employee should get a proper rights. They have an open forum to raise any concerns. So those all things are taken care by legal team. Even if there is any issues, like suppose any employees raises any concern against company or anything, so such things are handled by legal team. Then there is a fund team as well. When you have like big companies, even fund team plays a very key role. So in bigger companies, they keep on every Friday they will have many events, like we have a special band of our own company. Then they arrange a lot of games in every month. They always send quizzes. They arrange, even in pandemic, like it's they have played a very key role keeping their employees motivated, or if they are under stress, if they have a stress relief sessions, they are arranging many sessions from a lot of great doctors and many speakers from outside the world, and they try to interact our employees and help employees. So this is also a fun team, very creative team. So if really people are very creative minded and they really wanted to do some outside the job, something good or something different, really this is also one of the best. So these are how the work opportunities in the IT industry. And when you join as a fresher, be it not necessary that you are from engineering background, but they also started taking BSc graduates or become graduates. So every people they try to put them as per their interest, and people do join in all these areas. So this is what I try to explain what are the work opportunities available for you. Any question, or should I move to next slide?
Hello.
Yeah.
There is a question from one of our participants. Can you tell us
Hmm.
about SEO, software engine optimization?
Software engineer optim Software engineering optimization, right? Okay.
Yes.
So, see, optimization means what? That you have to optimize. If it's like uh, it, you cannot directly apply any terms into any software engineering optimization means what? Suppose you take any project, okay? You start with any client, okay? You got initially a scope that you are working with this traditional way or legacy ways of working with that particular company or client. Now, when you got that project, it's our job, company's responsibility to study the ways of working of legacy way. And now, because you are experienced in technology, you understand how to do it, and you will improve the process of utilization. That is called as optimize. Okay, means suppose just as an example, if there is a retail project and his overnight processing job takes 24 hours to run, what software engineer optimized do is if that particular job is running for 24 hours, he will find out how the program is written. Okay, how I can fine tune that query and try to optimize so that that particular query will be executed in 10 hours and give me output. You will give a 14 hours of business time back to them. This is called optimization. Okay. And this is comes into the picture when especially talked about quality assurance. So for every project, we assign a quality team and they do the assessment. Okay, we do a lot of Six Sigma FMEA process to understand that how you can improve your project performance. Every project when you win, okay, they have a certain KPIs that whatever we receive the project in the first year, next year you have to always show some improvement. So how you achieve those improvement? Obviously, you have to do some automation, you have to do some optimization, you have to do some improvement. So this is how you improve and make the project stabilize. I hope I have answered your query.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello,
Any other
ma'am. I have
question?
another question. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, you tell this all opportunity that we can grab. But, ma'am, my question is that if I have skill of only coding or anything, if I join, example, take automation. If I'm doing in automation, but I have also a skill of HR team. So, could I get that job of HR team if I don't have certificate, because I have certificate of engineering science, engineering fourth year only.
Yeah, so just trying to tell you, okay? So when you pass out and when you join any company, obviously, the they will train you in certain areas for young professionals, okay? And for HR hiring, they have a different positions. So if you have selected for a programmer or that kind of role, they will not put you in the HR team, okay? Because it is not applicable that way. But if you have interest, once you join the company, okay, in Capgemini, means or maybe in other industries also they might have that you can internally also, there will you will get a internal job availabilities on the portal, and if you are interested, you can apply for it. Okay, and if you get, you have to give the interview, even though it is an internal posting, and if you selected, you have to get an agreement with the current manager that he is ready to relieve you, and then you can move to that team.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am,
so
means
this is
if
how
we
you can
don't have
sure.
certificate, then also we can get that opportunity.
So that's what, when it is a like internal opportunity, they it's up to them, right? If they want you to certify it, they will obviously ask you that we need this certification to be completed, and then only you are eligible to be part of our team. So internally, they will ask you to do that certification. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because see, in all the big companies, whenever at every level they will give you platform, every year they have budget for certification for their employees. So they will give you free vouchers, and you just have to choose which technology or which certification you have to grab, and you have to complete that certification. Even as you grow in the industry, as you grow with your experience, you have to compulsory do some certifications. Like suppose if I have to work in application management, every client, it's mandatory for certain companies that you should have ITL V4 V3 certification. Without that certification, you cannot be part of that team. Okay, if you are to be a manager in Capgemini, you have to be a engagement manager certification. You have to do, if you are playing a scrum master role, you have to do the scrum master certification. So this is how the company plays. Okay, so before you are putting into that role, you have to do that certification, and then only you will be part of that particular role. So this is how we work. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if there are no questions, can I move ahead to the next slide?
Ma'am, which is the
Yeah.
best programming
Yes, ma'am.
language to learn, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, can you please come again?
Which is the best programming language to learn?
Programming language. Okay, so
C, C++,
I'll take you to the
Java or
next slide.
Python, ma'am?
Yeah, I'll take you to the next slide, because in which I'm going to talk about tools and technologies. Okay, this is just to about explain what are the roles which are available in the industry. Just to give, there are n number of other roles, but I'm just trying to figure out which are the major roles which probably people can check for. Okay. Okay. So tools and technologies. Now this is what a big what I can say. Um in the current market, you have every day coming with something new. Okay, so I'm sure that students are really don't know what to do. Okay, and in this particular slide, I have highlighted few major areas like cloud, DevOps, AI, digital, Oracle, web development, big data, SAP, Java. Okay, so I'm sure that right now, the world is just evolving around us, and I really, from my past experience, I really wanted to say you can choose any tools and technologies, but you should have your basic concepts very clear. Okay, so I must say that as a part of your curriculum, you have letter C and C++, object-oriented programming. Okay, so basically you should have a very firm base of object-oriented programming, because if you go across any of this tool, you can get the flavor of object-oriented. So any technology or any programming language, it really doesn't matter if your concepts are clear, you understand how to program it and how to apply it. Okay. And to be very honest, earlier, I must say, when we started in 2000, okay, that time you have to do a very big coding, we have to write very big programs or packages and everything. But nowadays, you got, AI, you can see DevOps, cloud technologies, and big data. So they have made your life very easy. Means you got everything ready. You just have to understand what is the, how to pull the things, and you have to just use them. Take an example of Python. You got all the libraries ready, but you just need to understand where to use which library, right? Take the example of cloud computing, DevOps. You get so many n number of tools available in the market. So you just, earlier I remember that even suppose take example of, you know, if we have to release any project into production, so there will be manual activity, like you have to see, check each and every file, and just see the versions. If there are mismatch, there are a lot of problems which you face when you are doing a production release. But looking at the DevOps tools, now your life is very easy. You don't have to think about anything. It everything is taken care by that tools. You just have to move the code to your QA, and that's it. It will be taken care. So, uh, I really, trying to say that even SAP, you take, it is very old technology, but still in the market, it is still alive because it has some really great features. Even if you take the Oracle database, of course, without database, you cannot do anything. But I must say that people need to understand what the, whatever language you choose, what is it really do and how best you can utilize it. People really don't understand what to do with that language. They just know, okay, I have studied this language, I know everything. But if you ask them the practical implementation of that particular language, you will go blank. So please try and, don't study just for the sake of study. Just try and see how you can implement it in a practical situation. Any questions or anything around, any technologies or tools you want to discuss?
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, then can you say something about HTML language? Means, is it useful compared to database, Python, and all? HTML language.
Yeah. So HTML is, very, I must say that it is a very simple and means it is used for a very basic purpose. Nowadays, um, to be very honest, the world is moving towards all Salesforce, DevOps, and cloud technologies. So as I said, any language you learn, okay, whenever you are going into any project, you don't know what tools and technologies you have to use. And if you end up in any project, it's not necessary that only HTML project will be allocated. If I'm working with one project, there will be 50 applications and they all will be on a different technologies. So obviously when you're working, even though you are a developer for one particular thing, you have to work or play around with multiple things. Okay, so you have to understand all other things in a basic as well. So see, every knowledge is good for you.
Yes, ma'am. Then, ma'am, if we are doing any final year project, then about which topic or which language we should try to make it? Means, what is that would required projects on what we can do?
I must say that it doesn't matter you do a project in which language or which technology, but you should make it a complete project. Okay, because I have seen that people, whatever they present a project, but it is not a project. They just don't thought of project means something which is functioning. Okay, it should have a proper front end, it should have a proper back end, it should perform some task, even though one simple task, but it should be end to end. Okay, and you should look from that point of view. Because see, when you face the industry as a working thing, you have to deliver something to the client. So you need to understand when you are doing some project, even though you take a simple example that maybe it is any in-house functionality that you are developing, maybe for a very simple industry, take example, even though for any bookstore you are doing a project, you should do that in a very proper manner. That okay, suppose I'm doing a project for a bookstore. Okay, how to manage his whole activity of the bookstore. So you need to come up with, okay, you need to do a proper study how his day-to-day transaction happens, what he wanted out of that. He might be, need to understand how many, what was the sale, how much money he invested, what is the output, then how we can report it. So you need to think in all such aspects, and then only, it will be a good project. That is what I look at it. People just explain, okay, I did, okay, I put a sensor, I just sensed, okay, and here how he broke the signal, how many cars passed. So what do I do with that? Okay, if some car is breaking the signal, have you counted how many cars passed through that toll? Have you reported? Have you, send some signals to any office that they have broken the signal, how they will get punished, how they get their letter? It's like there should be, some output of that project, which should be, you can say you can show some tangible uh, outputs of any project. Then it will be a good project.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is there any scope for the Java developers?
Yes. Java is a very means to be very honest, I don't know much about Java, but my husband is very expert of Java, and yeah, so Java is used in a lot of banking companies are still using Java, and it's also one of the great thing to do. I must say it is a if you are strong enough to do Java is also now you got Spring, some EJB and Sprint.
Spring
I
Boot.
just heard these names. Yeah, Spring Boot technology. So that is also you can say a future version of Java wherein you got automation already done. So you don't have to do much coding like earlier, right? This is what I understand from my husband. But yeah, definitely this is also a great language to learn.
Thank you, ma'am. And which technical knowledge we should know as a fresher in technical interviews?
Okay, so in technical interview, yeah, so from fresher, nobody expects that you should know everything, okay? But you really, what is expected being being a person? See, in being an engineer, any industry will expect that that particular engineer should understand what is happening surrounding, so what technologies at least available in the market, you should have at least a basic understanding what it is means, okay, not the any detailed question, okay, but technically definitely we will see how your concepts are clear, whether object oriented means you understood it properly. Just take an example. If I ask you to write a program, can you do me write a script just to convert Indian currency into all the other countries' currency? So that person will not understand what the requirement is. It's a very basic question. So you need to understand how what we learned. Okay, people only study whatever their assessment in the college, they only know those things. But if you ask them something out of the subject, they just get confused. So learn in that way that you should understand the concept and will be able to apply in any situation or any scenario which will be given to you. Okay, so they will ask very simple questions to freshers just to test your, this kind of adaptability with how you think, how your analytical thinking is, how you think for how you look at some situation, okay, how you deal with that particular problem. So this is what really industry trying to look at it, because we know that being a fresher you don't know anything in your curriculum, you hardly do any languages, you study only some for the project and that will be also very basic, you don't know database how the backend works, okay, and you don't know any concepts, but okay, you nowadays not many students are doing a lot of Coursera and many certifications, so they can speak a little bit about it, but that's it. But we really wanted to analyze how people react to it, and this is the only kick that that person will get selected.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much, ma'am.
Yeah, any question or should I move?
Move ahead, ma'am.
Sorry.
Next slide, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is last just two slides. Just trying to say or convey the message. Okay, guys, if you are really looking for your job and future prospect as a industry specialist or experience, from my experience, I must say You try and understand what are your strength points. Okay, if you are good at programming, try to see how you can, be very strong in programming. If you love to do front end kind of things, try to focus on those kind of tools and technologies. If you are good at back end technologies, try to do a study of database oriented things and try to focus on that. If you are good at understanding business processes and you can directly jump onto a functional expert, you try and study all the business domains, how they work, how the process flows, because this will give a lot of understanding around how you can become a functional domain expert or solution architect. Okay, so these are the fields you can target. Understand your weakness and try to see how you can improvise on that. So I'm just moving on to the next slide just to give some guidance. You should really prepare for these three skills, okay, when you are appearing for your interview. So basic, the first one is communication skill. Obviously, every industry will check that you should have at least a average communication skill. And I have seen many students, even they are not confident in speaking even best basic questions or answer basic things in English. Okay, so you have to see how you can improvise in that. I must say that start doing debate sessions from second year, third year onward, and try to involve each and every student, because not every student come forward on its own. So you have to push hard for such people and try to tell them you should come and speak. Okay, so try and brush up on things. Many people I have observed that they start, responding in Marathi and Hindi. Never do that, guys. When you are on a professional interview, even if whatever the way English is a standard language which is decided, because our interviews will get recorded. I cannot take it in a native language. Okay, so try and understand some professional norms, give it in a proper English. Okay, if you are doing something offline call with that particular person, okay, then you can talk in a regional language. But I will suggest go for only standard languages which are agreed as a platform. Then as a team player, whenever we are trying to take the interviews, we see that how that person as a human being is. Okay, so for that, definitely we will ask you few questions which will, which is sufficient for us to understand what is your nature. Are you a shy person? Are you a naughty person? Are you you will be a good team player, or you will be a social person? Means these are the tricks, okay? Which, because being a in corporate world, they always expect a good person in your team. Okay, because one wrong person in the team will spoil the team. So that is really playing a very important role. So try to be very positive person, very confident person. Okay, because you should show whatever you know, even though it is very less, but you should be confident for that. So show your confidence. Then technical knowledge. Okay, so as I already focused a lot of things on technical knowledge, but even being myself as an interviewer, I always try to give some confidence to that person when I start my interview. Okay, I always start them to asking questions related to what you studied, so that you will get comfortable. Any corporate person, you will not bombard you directly with a very heavy questions. They know how to handle the people. Okay, so they always make yourself comfortable and try to ask basic questions. And then we come to know, okay, this guy is responding, he's gaining some confidence, then we try to go for some difficult questions. So try and go, because I have seen a lot of people just go, they are not confident, and they just maybe under pressure they get confused, they won't be able to speak, they not even able to answer basic questions. So don't do that, and don't get afraid. And even I have seen many people just beg for the job. Don't ever do that. I know, even though in any of your financial situation, whatever the things are, never do that. It is a very wrong practice. So yeah, so I really wanted to raise these few points because I have seen many people that when they feel that okay my interview is not gone well, so they just start saying, "Ma'am, I really need this job. I really need this job," and literally they cry. So it's complete no for that thing. So try to follow these norms, guys. These are very important tips. Yeah, so that's it from my side, guys. Exact 58 minutes. Okay. Do you have any other questions? You're free to go.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, in technical, whenever we are going in company for any kind of interviews, then on behalf of our communication skills, can we get any jobs there? Means with technical knowledge and with communication skills, with good
Yes.
communication.
Yes, definitely. So, see, to be very honest, when you go for any company, okay, uh, to, when you start your job, obviously, if you have a right communication skills, okay, you will always get a client-facing role, okay, and it's one of the biggest opportunity I must say because I am doing most of the times that kind of role, and I really love and enjoy that kind of role. So, means it's like you will be immediately spot checked, yes, this person is good in communication, and whenever wherever required to have such kind of roles to be played, you will be called off for that particular opportunity. Okay, so definitely it's a really good skill. Means from my experience I must say that whenever means there will be a client presentation or prospective clients are coming in such scenarios always you will get the opportunity from the project to present your project in front of them, and it's a great learning to face people across the board, and from different countries, different culture people, to understand their working culture, how they interact, how they think, and it's a really one of the other learning path I must say. So yeah, that's also a very strong point altogether.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, guys?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, as a fresher, do we have choice? Like in which domain we have to go with, or in the interview, the organization which chooses us as a domain like web app or testing, we have to go with that. Do we have choice?
To be very honest, if you join any small company, you can put that choice. But in bigger companies, no. Because in bigger companies they take a batch of almost 200, 500 students, and they train them rigorously for 3 months on all the technologies which they really wanted young professional to be. So it will be like you will get trained in SAP, Oracle Labs, DevOps, everything in first 3 to 4 months, and then depending upon the requirement you will be placed. So it's purely on your luck. Sometimes might be while doing your training, if they identify okay this guy is really good at this particular technology, they might handpick. But it happens like hardly. It's purely your luck in which area you will be placed. But definitely after 1 or 2 years, when you understand, and after 2 years you can roll out the project. You can request for a release. If you are not liking that particular technology, then you have a right to switch in any company, I believe. Means even internally
Yeah, ma'am.
you can
Thank.
switch the technology. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, any other question, guys?
Ma'am, what to
No,
do if
ma'am.
we want to open our own company like startups and that are?
Sorry, can you please come again?
Ma'am, what to do if we want to start our own company? Like we want to do our own startup, then what we have to do
Okay.
from this year only?
Yeah, so definitely, I must say that if you really wanted to do your own startup, you need to first understand what you are good at. Okay, And also you need to analyze the market whether you are getting some prospective projects for you, because if or you will be preparing some product and then selling, then doing marketing. So you have to decide your strategy, how you are going to do, and of course the financial things as well, right? So you need to consider every aspect and do a proper planning. You also need to think that okay, if I go with this way, how much is the profit and loss? If I go with this way, how much profit and loss? If you already got some client and suppose, see, because freelancing happens that way. Suppose if you got somebody is pushing, okay, मुझे अरे ये project deliver करके दे, okay, then you decide what is a rough estimate of that project. You just ask, okay, if he agrees with that cost, start doing it. If you got similar client, or maybe if you have friends, you can improve your, extend this the same product to with enhancing the functionality and sell it to somebody else as well. So it's purely upon how you are, managing your and planning. And if you are planning to have your own company, you need to have a proper management skill as well, because otherwise, because you have to take a developer, tester, every people, and what kind of resourcing you need, hardware support, everything, right? So obviously you have to think from all aspects.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? Okay, I
No,
think
ma'am.
if there is
Yes.
no questions, I think we are good to close.